Right now at 5:30, newly obtained court documents providing more details regarding a Lexington murder case. We'll have more on the investigation ahead.
Also on WKYT this morning, Kentucky Democrats will be keeping control of the state house despite hopes for a split vote for the Republicans.
And 4 more states weigh in on the presidential race, how Donald Trump continues to win, and there was a big upset on the Democratic side.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Hey, good morning. It's so good to have you with us on WKYT on this Wednesday. We're in the middle of the week, and it feels like we're in the middle of spring. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Yeah, it's hard to believe that it's still, mid-March pretty much.
Yep.
The middle of winter, but spring's right around the corner.
Very nice weather yesterday, and we get a repeat today. Micah says maybe even warmer. Let's check in with him.
Yeah, yesterday was fantastic. Yes, we are going to be warmer today. We're talking 76 later on this afternoon. We'll jump that. What you see there on the screen by about 20 degrees, 55 now in Breathitt County, 57 Lexington. Roadways look good. I haven't heard of any issues there on the roadways. And as we track off into the afternoon, look at that, 76 degrees, mixture of sun and clouds. Can't rule out a slight rain chance, especially for west of I-75. But look tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Yeah, that rain's starting to move in for some, not everybody, but for some. And I'll show you who can expect that rain for tomorrow coming up.
See you then. Thank you.
Well, this morning we're learning more about 2 men who were arrested by Lexington police. They're connected to a murder. And
we obtained some new court documents surrounding the arrests overnight. It paints a better picture of what happened on that night that 18-year-old Caleb Hallett was murdered. Let's go to WKYT's Mark Barber live at the courthouse in downtown Lexington with more on what he's uncovered. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Marquez Smith and Marique Sturgis were both arrested and charged with murder yesterday. This morning, we are getting a much clearer idea of what happened during that January murder because one of the other suspects in the case is talking to police. We've been searching through court documents this morning, and this is what we've learned from an arrest warrant. 2 juveniles drove Smith and Sturgis, as well as Kenyon Hips, to a home on University Avenue on January 9th. According to court papers, the 3 men put on masks, got out of the car, and waited outside the house, planning to rob 18-year-old Caleb Hallett and his roommate. When Hallett and his roommate walked out of their house and got into a car, the warrant states that Smith shot Hallett and Sturgis shot his roommate in the arm. 10 days after the murder, Hips shot and killed himself when he was on the run in Ohio. Police have arrested the 2 juveniles. We are not naming them because of their ages. For the past 2 months, police have been searching for Smith and Sturgis, their last 2 suspects in the case. Now they're both charged with murder, assault, and robbery. Smith will answer to those charges for the first time when he walks into the district courthouse here this afternoon. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you. Kentucky Democratic Party leaders are ready to get back to work this morning after their party scored a major victory to keep control of the state house in yesterday's special elections.
Well, it wasn't a clean sweep. Democrats did win 3 of 4 House seats up for grabs. Republicans had hoped to have a 50-50 House split after the election. But now Democrats hold a 53-47 majority. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain's at our live desk with a look at what the election results mean.
State party leaders called it the rebirth of Kentucky's Democratic Party as the Democrats remain in control of the state House of Representatives. The Democrats won 3 of the 4 seats in yesterday's special elections, including the 62nd district, which includes parts of Fayette, Scott, and Owen counties. Chuck Tackett won the 52% of the vote, edging out Philip Pratt. The Republicans' only win came in the 54th district as Daniel Elliott defeated Bill Nolker. The district includes parts of Casey and Boyle counties. House Speaker Greg Stumbo says he believes the results are in part due to a backlash against Governor Bevin's proposed budget cuts. Chairman of the state Republican Party, Mac Brown, still believes the GOP will take control of the House in November. Now, as of now, the Democrats hold a 53-47 majority of the House. At the live desk, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
Michelle, thank you. Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton face off again tonight in a debate. This time it's in Florida. And the showdown comes just a day after Sanders claimed a surprise victory over Clinton in last night's Michigan primary contest. Well, Donald Trump defeated his GOP rivals in Michigan, Mississippi, and we've now learned in Hawaii. Craig Boswell has the latest on the campaign.
Bernie Sanders regained momentum last night, picking up a big win in Michigan's primary contest over rival Hillary Clinton.
I just want to take this opportunity to thank the people of Michigan who kind of repudiated the polls that had us 25 points down a few days ago.
Clinton, who scored a victory in Mississippi, brushed off the loss, looking ahead to the general election.
Running for president shouldn't be about delivering insults. It should be about delivering results for the American people.
For Sanders, the race is an uphill climb. The former Secretary of State has already earned more than half of the delegates needed to clinch the party nomination.
In terms of superdelegates, he's way behind Hillary Clinton, and I just don't see that changing, barring some catastrophic problem with her campaign.
Despite efforts by some in the Republican establishment to derail Donald Trump's campaign, Trump continues to extend his lead, picking up even more victories last night.
There's only one person did well tonight, Donald Trump, I will tell you.
The billionaire frontrunner defeated his rivals in Michigan, Mississippi, and Hawaii, while Ted Cruz carried Idaho.
We have tremendous support on the grassroots, and we are fighting to earn delegates.
Marco Rubio suffered a brutal night, emerging with no new delegates. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Washington.
CBS News has learned that Florida Senator Marco Rubio's campaign and his allies are engaged in, quote, deep conversations about the future of his presidential campaign. The next big contest for the GOP will come on March 15th when 5 states hold primaries, including the winner-take-all primaries in Ohio and Florida.
A West Point graduate has been identified as a Vanderbilt University student stabbed to death during a Palestinian knife attack in Israel. 28-year-old Taylor Force was an MBA student on a school-sponsored trip. He served tours of duty in Iraq and Afghanistan. Police say a Palestinian man went on a stabbing spree in the port city of Jaffa near Tel Aviv. He injured 6 others before he was shot and killed. The attack also came as Vice President Joe Biden was holding talks with former Israeli leader Shimon Peres in Tel Aviv.
Well, crews are now blasting as part of their work to try to stop that rock slide that has shut down a stretch of Interstate 75 in Tennessee.
The Tennessee Department of Transportation posted some video of some of the work that went on yesterday. The rock slide shut down about a 20-mile stretch of Interstate 75 south of Jellicoe on February 26. Crews hope to have the southbound lanes reopened by March 17th and the northbound lanes a week later. They hope to have all work complete by April 15th.
Had the work cut out for them there, certainly. A driver in Rockcastle County had some tense moments when his concrete truck flipped off of a county road yesterday. It happened along Big Cave Road. Upon arrival, Mount Vernon firefighters say the driver was still trapped inside the truck. The crews had to cut him out of the vehicle. Firefighters say the driver was then airlifted to UK Hospital and apparently had non-life-threatening injuries. Police say the cause of the crash is under investigation this morning.
The state has issued a violation notice to the Estill County landfill where radioactive waste was illegally dumped. The Energy and Environment Cabinet says the notice sent to Blue Ridge Landfill outlines 4 specific violations. Among them, investigators say the landfill used inaccurate reporting in a quarterly report and disposed of unpermitted waste while not properly recording the source. The state also sent a cease and desist letter to Advanced Tenarm of West Liberty saying the waste disposal company could face civil fines up to $100,000 for each illegal dumping. The state also says radioactive waste was dumped in another landfill in the Ashland area. The search continues for a missing Whitley County man this morning. The Whitley County Sheriff's Office issued a golden alert Monday night for 48-year-old Joel Moses. Deputies say they found his car abandoned along the side of Highway 25. They say they found his jacket near the Clear Fork River. Some people who know Moses say they fear the worst.
And there was like slide marks on the mud down to the water, and with all my heart, I really think he slid into that water. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but I think that. Right. And he couldn't swim.
Whitley County Emergency Management says crews have completed the ground search for Moses, but they'll continue to search the Clear Fork River.
The time is 5:38 on WKYT, and new this morning we've learned a man has been arrested and accused of stabbing a man in Georgetown. Police say Ezra Hoover has been charged with assault in the case. The scene was at Scroggins Park Drive off East Showalter. Georgetown police say that's where Hoover stabbed the victim multiple times yesterday afternoon. They say the victim was taken to UK Hospital with life-threatening injuries. His condition is not known by us this morning.
Police in Pulaski County are trying to track down a hit-and-run driver who they say seriously injured a man riding his bicycle. The crash happened Monday night on Highway 80 east of Somerset. Police say 23-year-old Terrell Harden was riding his bicycle when a black Ford Ranger hit him. As you'll hear in this 911 call, witnesses say the driver stopped briefly, then took off.
You actually talked to him? Just for a split second. He said, I hit him. I said, you hit a person? And he said, yeah, and the bicycle was underneath the front end of his pickup.
Well, police say the truck will likely have front-end damage. UK Hospital says Harden is in critical condition this morning.
Well, it has been 1 year since a Laurel County couple was found shot to death inside their burning home. Donnie and Sharon Jackson were both members of the AMVET Post 116. Shortly after their deaths, the Post, along with an anonymous donor, offered a $10,000 reward for any information that led to the arrest and conviction of the person responsible. But now, a full year later, police have still made no arrests. Friends of the couple are asking for anyone who knows something about the crime to come forward.
I knew Donnie and Sharon as childhood friends, one of the best friends I ever had. He didn't deserve this. The family don't deserve it.
The sheriff's office says they receive tips nearly every week and they follow up with every one. Investigators say there are DNA samples currently being tested at the State Police Crime Lab. 5:40 the time, 20 before 6, Wednesday morning on WKYT. Let's check live drive traffic for you and see what's going on out there early. A lot of green. We have no reports of any major problems at the moment. In fact, it looks good to go throughout the region right now. And we'll give you some travel times. A good ride in from Nicholasville, Georgetown, or Paris, and a quick ride in as well from Mount Sterling this morning. So everybody's doing okay early. Let's hope it stays that way. Here lately, it's been around the 6 o'clock hour. We've started to have some problems.
Yeah,
You know?
well, maybe one of those days, too, where you can go to the car wash. I hit that up yesterday, and it was pretty busy.
That'd be a good idea, you know, you get that salt off if that's still on there.
I still have a funky smell in my car, though. I don't know what where that's coming from.
Another issue. 5:41 on WKYT this morning. It is early on your Wednesday, and we're glad you're along. More news on the way.
A California reporter experienced some tense moments while reporting out in the field. We'll have more on his close call when we return.
Wow, that was a close call. 70s remain in the forecast for the next couple of days, but we do have a cool front on the way. That'll bring us some rain, and I'll show you when coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Really nice feel this morning with temperatures in the 50s, even a couple of 60-degree readings outside. It is fantastic weather. If you ever go to the beach this time of year, it's what it feels like outside. You won't need a coat when you step out the door this morning. 55 now in Jackson. Frankfort coming in at 57 degrees. We'll have that mixture of sun and clouds today. A few more clouds than what we saw yesterday. Yesterday was just beautiful. And also a slight rain chance. For the most part, we stay dry, but we just can't rule out a passing light shower or sprinkle west of I-75. You get it the mid-70s for most later on this afternoon. Even a couple of weather models trying to push out an 80-degree reading in far eastern Kentucky. If you're sitting in Prestonsburg, Salyersville, go off into Pikeville, that's your best opportunity of maybe hitting the upper 70s to around 80 degrees. Then tomorrow, for the most part, we stay dry. However, Lexington around I-75 and westbound, you're going to have the best chance at a few showers later on in the day. Morning, it starts off across 71 up in far northwestern portion of our viewing area, Trimble County, Gallatin, those areas. And then it just slowly works its way southeast as we go throughout the afternoon and evening. Evening and off into the night is when the best chance of rain comes for most, though. 70s will be back in the forecast. So Friday, the rain moves through most of it Thursday night into early Friday morning. And when I say early, I'm talking 5 to 8 a.m. And then it moves on out. And once it moves on out, it's long gone for the day. So dry for most of the day there on Friday with temperatures. That's a cool front rolling through, so it'll drop our temperatures to the 60s. But we jump it right back up as we look toward the weekend. The best chance of rain for the weekend will be on Sunday, where we have a 60% chance of rain there in the forecast, scattered showers and thunderstorms. I've been asked a few of these questions of, are these storms going to be any type of severe weather? Not expecting any severe weather, and really no real strong thunderstorms either. So most of this is going to be showers with a few rumbles of thunder. Temperature 75 degrees there on Saturday, and you'll get some breaks there on Saturday. I want to show you these pictures sent to me on Facebook. Beautiful sunsets. Now, this is out at Cave Run, and that's the spillway right there as that sunset sets off in the distance. Delway just sent that one in. Really cool shot out of Cave Run. Cave Run will be hopping as we go throughout the next few months, that's for sure. Sandy Daniel sent this one in. Good morning from Jessamine County, obviously. This was yesterday morning, but just a beautiful, beautiful start to the day. Keep sending your pictures in. I'm going to show them off. And you can find me on Twitter as well at Micah Harris WX. Here's your 7-day forecast. And we're at 76 degrees today. Really nice feel. Like I said, can't rule out a sprinkle, especially west of I-75. Then tomorrow, the best chance of rain is going to be west of I-75. However, I-75 still included. Lexington will have that chance late in the afternoon of that rain moving on in. And then it takes over Thursday night and Friday morning, but Friday afternoon looks fantastic at 65 degrees. The weekend, obviously, once again, Sunday is going to be your best chance of rain. There's a lot going on in this forecast, but at least we're not getting hit and hammered with some cold air. And I still don't see it in the next 7 to 10 days.
It's great relief to have these warmer temperatures.
Absolutely, I'm with you.
It feels good out there. Thank you so much, Mike. Coming up on 548 right now. All right, there was this terrifying moment captured on live TV. A local news reporter in California was almost run over while doing a live report.
Alex Savage is the reporter's name, was doing a reporting on the train derailment in California earlier this week from a 7-Eleven parking lot. So this is what happened. Minutes into his report, a car crash happened right behind him. You can see there. Oh, there you go. Police say an elderly woman ran a red light and hit a car that was turning, but instead of braking, police say the woman accidentally hit the gas pedal and nearly drove over that unaware reporter. Because his back was facing traffic, Savage credits his cameraman for yelling, "Get out of the way," before diving to safety.
This is the man. That's Chip Vaughn. Always has my back.
A very close call. Neither man suffered any injuries in the accident. Savage says his heart is still racing days after what was a very close call.
Well, I imagine every time he looks at that, you know.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Crazy.
Well, good thing he's okay. It's coming up on 549 now.
Coming up, you'll get the stories making news right now.
We'll be taking a look at traffic as well. We'll see what's hot on the web and social media, some health news, and a lot more coming up on WKYT this morning. Good morning. Welcome back in. WKYT this morning on the air with all the latest on your Wednesday at 5:52.
Let's take a look right now at some of the stories we're working on at this hour.
We're learning some new information about a Lexington murder case. Marquise Smith and Marique Sturgis have both been charged in the murder of 18-year-old Caleb Hallett. Police say the two originally went to Hallett's home to rob him, but ended up shooting him after Hallett and a friend came outside.
New this morning, we've learned a man's been arrested accused of stabbing a man in Georgetown. Police say Ezra Hoover has been charged with assault in the case. They say Hoover stabbed the victim multiple times, leaving him with life-threatening injuries. Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton face off once again in a debate tonight in Florida that's ahead of the state's winner-take-all primary next week. Bernie Sanders, of course, had a big upset over Hillary.
The Vermont senator regained momentum with a crucial primary win in Michigan last night. Hillary Clinton, though, picked up even more delegates with a win in Mississippi. Republican Donald Trump dealt another blow to his GOP rivals with victories in Michigan, Mississippi, and in Hawaii.
The hunt for a man suspected in 5 fatal shootings in 2 states has ended. Authorities nabbed Pablo Antonio Serrano Vitorino in Danville, Missouri overnight after he allegedly shot and killed a 49-year-old man in the state. 4 others in Kansas City. Authorities say the Mexican national was living in the country illegally. A new study finds physical activity does not impact breast density.
Exercise can help women lower the risk of breast cancer, but Danish researchers found no link between breast density and physical activity. They say more study is needed to determine exactly how exercise helps protect against breast cancer.
Being more aware of what you eat could make you healthier. That goes without saying, right? Doctors say making more thoughtful food choices and recognizing when you are hungry or full can lower the risk of type 2 diabetes and improve heart health. So another study claiming what we've known for a while, right? Let's get a check at this hour. Today's traffic trouble spots with a look at live drive traffic. Things looking pretty good out there from the view of the map. And now it's time to check what's making news online with Bill.
Yeah, as we roll toward the 6 o'clock hour right now on WKYT.com, there has been an arrest after a stabbing in Georgetown where the accused apparently told police that he wanted to fill the victim with holes. Kentucky Democrats will maintain control of the state house for now. They won 3 of the 4 special elections held yesterday, despite Governor Bevin's efforts in behalf of the GOP candidates. We have the full story up for you right now. Also trending this morning as college students get ready for spring break, a popular destination is banning alcohol on the beach. Panama City, Florida has that new rule in place. They've also moved last call earlier from 4 a.m. back to 2 a.m. to try to scale back some of the rowdiness down there. We're getting you ready for the SEC tournament in Nashville with some of the rules of the venue and an article about Tyler Eulis being named SEC Player of the Year. One tidbit is that at 5'9", he is the shortest player to ever win that award. Eulis was also SEC Defensive Player of the Year, so certainly a big year for him. Over on Kentucky.com, more on the fallout from yesterday's special elections, with Democrats increasing the majority in the state house. And Speaker Greg Stumbo says the House budget would lessen cuts to education from what is being proposed by the governor. CBS This Morning is coming up with your eye-opener at 7. And a look also at where the race for the White House now stands after the primary results rolled in last night, and with big contests still on the way. We'll also have local updates. Hey, join us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter or Instagram, and for the latest anytime, WKYT.com.
Yeah, such a good feel outside. Beautiful start to the morning as you're taking off early this morning. Live sky camera view 75 in Winchester Road, and this is a good vantage point. We're about 60 feet up in the air with this camera facing back toward the west. Just a really good start to the day. Look, when you walk outside this morning, nobody's going to be cold. I can promise you that. It is a really nice feel. And just updated there at the Bluegrass Airport, 58 degrees now in Lexington. So again this morning, we're increasing those temperatures. When I walked in, we were in the 40s. Somerset all the way to London Corbin. 60 degrees right now in Monticello. That's a great feel. We head throughout the afternoon even better. We're at 76 degrees later on today, and that's actually warmer than yesterday, kind of put it in perspective. And yesterday was phenomenal. So great looking weather. Rain moves in tomorrow, though. I'm going to talk all about that and show you the timing on that coming up with another hour of WKYT News. If you're about to take off, have a great Wednesday. If not, stick with us. We have more coming up in just a few minutes.